6 a.m. I've been up about 15 minutes and I'm sitting on the couch waiting for the baby to get up. She's rolling around, so it will be any minute. Putting a couple rounds on the hair for the doll. I want to keep going, but my hand is killing me. As it always does with amigurumi. I don't know how people do these on a regular basis. Just dropped Nova off and I am just taking a little walk. It's cold. I have my real coat on. It's like 45 degrees. The sun is out though. It's supposed to get up to 60 today. She woke up much happier this morning. And she keeps saying she has a boo-boo in her mouth. And I'm like, I know, baby. It's because you're getting a tooth. But I dropped her off. She didn't even want to hug or a kiss goodbye. She said, no hug, mama. See you later. So, oh, okay, fine. And then the lady who watches her is named Diane. And she said, okay, I'm going to make you breakfast. And Nova said, that will be fine. That's so funny. So, I'm sleepy. This morning, my back was bothering me and it was cold and I just didn't want to. Like I wanted to take a walk, but I didn't want to deal with Nova complaining about how cold it was the whole time. And my back was bothering me, so instead I did a yoga video in the living room while she pulled out every single toy that she owns from the shelves and spread them all over the floor. Which is why I typically don't do yoga, because it is pure chaos when it's over. At least when I take a walk, she's contained in the wagon, so it's not pure chaos. But we had to do what we had to do this morning, and so I'm just taking a little walk by myself, trying to wake up before I go home and work. That is definitely one of the hard things about only having 9 hours of childcare on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Total, that's 3 hours a day. And then Fridays when my mom watches her, I usually get 5 hours in a row, which is when I do all my writing. But all the work, all the concentration work has to be done in those 9 hours. Because there's no guarantee of her nap time, especially lately. And like if you work a normal job, if you work 40 hours a week at a normal job, you can have an off day. You still have 4 other days, right? Like you can just be like, dragging, like barely get anything done one day and make up for it. But I don't have that. It either gets done in those 3 hours or it doesn't get done. And so I feel like that adds a layer of stress to be like, every minute that she's not around, I have to be doing something productive. So I have let some things go, like social media for the church is not getting done because it just can't get done. So I've kind of accepted that, but it's hard. It won't be like that forever, but it doesn't make it not hard right now. I want to sort all my projects out. I said that last night. What I really think I need to do, and maybe I'll do this tonight, is get out my Cozy Classic raglan and just decide how many more rows I need to finish it off, because then I will have a goal and decide if I'm going to work straight in the current color for maybe 10 or 20 rows and then start helical knitting the second or the last final color, fading that in, or what I'm going to do, if I'm just going to start fading it in right now. So once that's decided, I think I'll be able to go faster on that. So yeah, happy Tuesday, y'all. I hope you're nice and warm wherever you are. I'm sure some of you are jealous of me walking with my blue skies and my 45-degree weather while wearing a giant winter coat. You're like, what is wrong with you? We don't have We're not prepared, okay? I do have my winter boots on that I got for traveling somewhere else. And this coat is very warm, but my leggings are so thin. We don't have fleece lined anything. We just don't do that. It doesn't get cold. Hello. So what I just showed you, wow, that's bright. What I just showed you in the videos is a ring light type thing that my husband got me for Christmas. It was my Christmas present. I would never have guessed in a million years he was gonna get that for me. But I've had two like stand lights that I've used for years podcasting. They were $40 each a long time ago, and they have these bulbs that are like this big, no joke. And one of the bulbs broke. It still lights, but it's like kind of hazardous. It like snapped off at the base, so it's like hanging by a wire and it still lights. And I've recorded like 3 podcasts with it like that. And I was like, oh, I just really need to look into doing something about this situation, whether it's replacing the light bulb, but that light bulb is going to cost as much as the stupid stand did in the first place, or getting a different kind of light. And I just didn't have the energy to deal with it. And he got me a ring light for Christmas. So I'm gonna have to mess with it because, whoa, you can definitely see, the thing to know about a ring light is that when you get close, you get a ring around your eyelids. But I'm probably not gonna be that close. Generally, I'm gonna be like back here, most likely filming a podcast, so that will be totally fine. And it's on white light currently. There is like orange light diffusers, which would make it like a little darker, and it gets super, I can adjust the temperature, so that's as bright as it gets. It's kind of horrifying. Hurts. And then this, probably like this is a good temperature, but we'll see. I'll mess around with it. I'm just really excited. Nova's not here, so I set it up. It's obviously, I set the stand up a little too short because it's cutting off the top of my head. But the only issue I foresee is my phone does not really fit in the phone holder because of the case that I have on my phone. And I don't want to take the case off every time I try to record something, so I'm going to have to rig something to figure that out. But yeah, very excited. It's 10 minutes to 12. I just put Nova down for a nap. Pulled the cookies out of the oven. People will be here for a meeting in 10 minutes, approximately. I have done so much work today, but not actual work. I don't know how to, not work for my job, I guess I should say. I'm about to though, because I have a meeting. But I did a quick purge of my clothing drawers and got rid of some things. Actually, someone's coming to pick them up this afternoon. It's like a whole bag of clothing. I tend to hold on to clothing, like seriously. One of the things I got rid of, I have had since high school. I'm 33, y'all. I don't need to have that item anymore. I have not worn it in over 10 years. But I definitely have like separation anxiety for clothing. And it comes from, I mean, I know where it comes from. We didn't have a lot when I was growing up. I always had enough clothing, but like when I got my own money, I would buy lots of poor quality items, but just a lot of them so that I could have lots of options, because options weren't really something I had before. And so I don't want to get rid of them either, because it feels like I'm getting rid of options, even though I haven't. I haven't worn them in ages. So I got rid of some shoes that I've literally never worn, some clothes, some things that simply don't fit me anymore because my body changed shape a little bit after Nova was born. I even put a dress that I sewed in there. I know, crazy, but I haven't worn it a single time. Someone else can enjoy it. So yeah, I did that, and then I went through Nova's toys and separated them all out into 4 bags so I can do a toy rotation. again, now that I've cleaned her closet last week, because I know that she plays better when I do a toy rotation. It's just a lot of work, so it's kind of annoying. It's just one more thing on the to-do list, but she gets bored pretty easily, and she needs like some excitement to be interested in things again. So I've left all of her Christmas toys that she got out so she can play with them. And I've added a couple more. Like, she hasn't played with her Duplos, her blocks, in a couple of weeks, just because they've been out. So she looks right past them. So I put them in the closet. They'll come out in like 2 weeks and she'll play with them again. I just have to be more consistent with actually rotating the toys so that she has more play opportunities. I'm also going to try to rotate some of her books, because she has a lot of books, and put out, now that she has a little table, I'm going to put out like one toy and a book on the table, maybe every morning or every afternoon for her nap time, and see what happens if she like gravitates towards what's at her eye level. So I did that. I did laundry. I baked a batch of cookies. I set up the ring light. I did the dishes. I vacuumed the whole house. It's a lot. And now I'm about to have a meeting, and my eye won't stop twitching. A couple people commented and said it was stress, but I don't feel stressed. It's just twitchy. I really need a nap, but that's not going to happen. I'm so glad that the meeting I had after Nova goes to bed tonight got rescheduled to next week, so that maybe I can go to bed early. It's about 1:30. Nova's still asleep, so I passed the baby monitor off to my husband, who is working, and I escaped to get a quick walk around the block in because the weather is beautiful. And also I just needed some air. I was feeling a little suffocated. And I had a meeting with some really lovely people who I haven't seen in a very long time, since before COVID, probably since 2018, maybe the beginning of 2019. I haven't seen them. And they have a 5-month-old baby now who is so cute. Oh my gosh, he has the most chubbiest little cheeks. And he's doing all the things that babies do when they're 5 months old, like shoving his hands in his mouth constantly and making that little wheezy noise that makes parents panic, like that sound. So fun when they start experimenting with that sound. So it was really wonderful to see them and catch up with them, and I got to hear the birth story of that baby. And these are two very intelligent people who both have very, very good jobs, and they don't necessarily have the family support that perhaps they would wish they would have, but they're just like, they have a lot of resources other than that. And they had a baby 5 months ago. So not COVID, post-COVID baby. And just to hear their experience was so different. Like, they got to have their baby in a birth center with a doula and then like all of that. And the lighting was dim, and she got to have like basically everything that she wanted to have there. The baby was born without a hitch, and it's like a pretty chill baby. Not a baby who's like Nova, not chill in any way. They were able to hire a night nurse one night a week for the first few months, and they're thinking about possibly getting a nanny. And they just the way that they talked about the birth story and the pregnancy and loud van, all of that, it was just like so beautiful, like so full of love and joy. And it like, I'm truly like 1,000,000% happy that they had that experience. Like, I really am. It's beautiful. I'm so glad they had that experience. No bone in my body is jealous of that. I have nothing but happiness for them. But, like, that was not my experience at all. And I think that's why I had to get out and take a walk because the emotion that I have, like hearing how beautiful their story was, is like grief. I think it's grief of all the things that could have been so much different with my pregnancy or with the birth of Nova. Like, COVID robbed a lot of things from a lot of people, but it took, like, Josiah could not come to a single doctor's appointment the whole 9 months. They would not let him in the hospital when she was born until they confirmed I was giving labor. I was in labor, which I was. By the time I showed up to the hospital, I was 8 centimeters. I couldn't have my family there. I couldn't even have a doula there, which is something that I had always wanted. I could not go to any of the labor and delivery classes. They were all canceled. They were not available in any way. And then we certainly didn't have, the resources to have someone come in after the baby was born. Thank God for my mom, as always, who saved my life after Nova was born. But it's just, it feels heavy. And it has nothing to do with them. Like, I'm privileged in that what I do for my job is I'm a pastor. And I get to hold space for people. I get to hold space for those stories. But at the same time, it's hard because that just wasn't my experience at all. And I wonder, like, what would it be like to look back on pregnancy and the birth of your child with joy and not anxiety? I don't know. I don't know what that's like. Maybe someday. Maybe if we have another one, it will be a different experience. But I'm just sad that it wasn't as beautiful as it, not just as it could have been, but as it should have been. And that's okay. It's okay to be sad about that, right? So anyways, that's why I'm taking a walk. Just to kind of be with that feeling for a little bit and let it out of my body so that I don't put that on Nova when she wakes up from the nap. So the rest of the day will be fine. I don't want anyone worrying. I'm fine. I'm doing what I know I need to do, which is take a walk. It was just a really very interesting experience to be listening to their beautiful story and have that feeling inside of me at the same time.
Bye bye. Going to work. See you later. Next time. Well, they go, stay home. It's dad.
It's about 8 p.m. and I'm going to get this vlog uploading because I know I was super chatty today, so it's going to take a while. I'm sitting on the couch. Nova is asleep. My husband is playing video games, which I'm so happy about. And I just knit 4 inches on one of the sleeves for my Cozy Classic raglan. I am up to where I'm going to start the ribbing. So I need to change to a smaller needle and do 2 inches of ribbing, then try it on before I do the bind off. We'll see what happens. And then once that sleeve is done, I will finish the other sleeve and then I will finish the body. That's my plan, but I'm done working on that tonight. I think I'm gonna work on crochet a little bit and then probably go to bed early because I'm super tired. Novo had a really, really great day today, other than bath time. She had a meltdown, but I think she was just exhausted. She also did not want what we had for dinner. She wanted M&Ms and popcorn and what else? There was like 10 things she wanted, none of which were on the menu. So we held that boundary and she did not appreciate that. But I fixed something I know she likes. So it's not as though she went hungry. She did eventually, we had like a rice stir fry kind of a thing with leftover ham and she wouldn't touch it. Even though she loves rice normally. But eventually she ate all the broccoli. And I was like, what? Okay. So yeah, exciting times. I will see y'all in the morning. Bye, friends.